I'm here with Miss Graisley's fourth grade class, and today we're going to be creating our very own seagull. So we've been talking all about how we spent lots of time at the beach. We do live in Florida. Okay, so even though it is New Year's time, we've all been hanging out at the beach. So we're going to be creating our very own seagull today. So I'm going to have my friends here take their pencil. You're going to hold it in your hands. And what we're going to do to start is we are going to make a tall hill, but it should not come to the top of your page. You should leave a little bit of room there. So go ahead. I'm going to have everybody, whoops, I'm upside down. I'm going to have everybody do that. Sorry about that, kiddos. And then give me a thumbs up. Okay, excellent. All right, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the beak, just like this. Go ahead, do it. Give me a thumbs up. All right, let's see those thumbs up. As soon as you finish, that's how I know that you're ready to move on. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make my seagull body, which is going to be a shape kind of like this. It almost looks like an L to me. Does it look like an L to you? Mm-hmm. Go ahead, make that shape. If you need to make edits, just use your pink eraser, not the one on the back of your pencil. And then give me a thumbs up so I know I'm ready to move on. All right, you guys are popping like popcorn. Next thing I'm going to do is make my wing. Here's my wing. Go ahead, you're going to make it and then give me a thumbs up. Okay, next thing I'm going to be doing is making the feet of my seagull. This might be one of the harder things we do today, but hopefully not too hard. So maybe just watch first. So I'm going to start with a shape that looks like this. And then I'm going to start with another one that looks like this. So these are the legs. Okay. We're not making anything as like a stick figure because we need to be able to color inside of this whole image. Okay, and then hopefully not too hard. It's going to make almost like a triangle shape. We have one, and then we're going to make the other. How do we do? If you need to make edits, feel free. I'm really doing a great job so far from what I can see. It's awesome. Just doing a nice job. Yes, if you did your legs a little different, that's fine for me. All right. Now the next thing I'm going to do is make my eye. Now my eye is going to be kind of in line with the beak here. It's going to start as a circle, and then I'm going to make a shape like this, and then another shape. But please do me a favor and don't color anything in with your pencil. We're going to be using markers to color it in, so please don't color anything in. Even though this should be black, we're not going to color it black because we're going to do that later. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be making, this is his little cheek. So we're going to be making his little cheek just like that. Now the next thing I'm going to do is make a little sailor hat for him, because why not? It's kind of funny and silly, right? So I'm going to go ahead and make my little sailor hat. Almost looks like a navy hat, and then I can make the little ribbon kind of flying from it, just like that, right? Kind of have that be part of the bottom of the hat. Maybe one's longer than the other. Don't worry too much about what it looks like right now. We are going to be making a shirt for our bird too. I've never seen a bird with a shirt, but this bird's going to have a shirt. But before we go on to that, what we're going to do is make something very important. It's called the horizon line. The horizon line separates the sky from the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and make my horizon line. I just want to show you it's just basically a straight line Now I'm not going to go through my bird, okay? Should be something like that. Now maybe yours is lower, maybe yours is higher, but it needs to be somewhere in the background. So this is going to be the sky, and that's going to be the ocean. Just give me a thumbs up once you have that horizon line in. Excellent. So next thing I'm going to make is the rock that my seagull is standing upon. Your rock can look different than mine. It doesn't have to be as big as mine, or it could be a different shape. And do you remember I said we would be making a shirt for our seagull? So I'm just going to show you we're not coloring anything in yet. That's later on. But I just want to show you these are going to be stripes. So there's one stripe. So it's going to be like blue, white, blue. There's a white stripe. Blue. You can really make as many or as few as you want. So you can have it go down further. So it's going to be like blue, white, blue, white, blue, white. That's good, right? Like 3 of each. Now, next thing I'm going to do is draw some of the things that are in the ocean. So maybe there's some coral kind of sticking out on my rock here. You want to draw everything pretty large. Maybe there's a starfish kind of hanging out. It doesn't have to be on the rock with your seagull. It could be, mine comes off the page a little bit, that's fine. You can add a lot of pieces of seaweed. Maybe there's like a little fishy jumping out of the water. Maybe he's got a little happy face. You don't have to do all these things. Maybe it's making a big splash. I'm just trying to think of other things that I can draw in my picture.
Barnacles on the rock.
Oh, that's a great idea. Barnacles on the log. I love it. So if you're drawing clouds, you're going to make them in the sky. That's perfect. So you know the sky is all the way up here. There are a few other things we're going to add. I think I'm going to make a funny cruise ship in the background. That would be funny, right? So, or it could just be like a boat. It doesn't have to be a cruise ship, but I think it would be hilarious if it were a cruise ship, right? This poor seagull, he's just trying to get by. Actually, I think,
Or like a seal trying to get on the rock.
yeah, that could be funny.
The Titanic.
Yeah, it could be the Titanic. I like all your suggestions. Now, I'm making the windows on my boat squares, but actually I'm thinking that they would actually be circles, wouldn't they? So you design it how you want. I'm doing this kind of spontaneously with my 4th grade class, which is why, you know, I'm changing things as I go, making edits. That's fine. It's fun to work spontaneously sometimes. So here's my boat. Yeah, what else could be coming out of the water? So let's give that some thought. Yeah, maybe there's like an octopus kind of coming out of the water. Maybe just a tentacle. You can think of things to make your picture funny. I mean, it's funny as it is. Sometimes less is more. You don't have to add as many details as I'm adding. You see the suction cups? Little suction cups. So you're just doing it your own way. And there's a few other fun details we're going to put into our picture before we move on to coloring. So in your water, you might want to just throw in some little waves. Maybe your waves look a little different. are going to be tracing everything we do today. I want to show you where we're heading for the next step. So on his sleeve, not his sleeve, his wing, sorry, couldn't think of the word. I'm going to make this shape like this. It almost looks like water. And then I'm going to draw horizontal lines, little horizontal lines just like this. Yeah, it almost looks like hair. I mean, it's really his feathers, but we're not up close enough to really see the feathers. All right, and then I think I'm going to make the lines on his neck vertical. That's the other direction. That's north and south, or up and down, instead of east and west. And it's really fun to add a lot of details. I want you guys to remember and consider that you're going to be tracing over every line you make with a black Sharpie. So that's going to be our next step in a little while. So I love the ambition, but I just put that out there in case you're like thinking of maybe just doing a little bit less, but you don't have to. If you're very ambitious, you should do more. All right, it's just more so that you understand where we're heading. So now I'm going to make lines that are kind of, they just kind of go with the shape of my seagull. And I'm almost up to my tracing step, so what I'm going to do is leave the Sharpies. I'm going to continue tracing mine in my picture on the video here, but I'm just going to leave the Sharpies, and when you think you're ready for Sharpies, once you've added enough details and you're happy with your picture, you're just going to take a Sharpie, you're going to put the cap on the back of the Sharpie. We're going to make sure we never push down hard with them, because I like to keep my Sharpies forever. I always say to my classes, a Sharpie can either last 1 day or 1 year, which is better. A year, right? When I'm paying $2 for each Sharpie, it's much better if they last a year. So we want to treat our Sharpies with respect, and that starts with never pushing hard on them and putting the cap on the back of the Sharpie. Please also never put them in your mouth. Okay. I think I have all the details that I want in my picture, so like I said I was going to do, I'm going to put out my Sharpies, and I'm going to put them at the center table for my class. When you're ready for one, just come up and take it. Okay? But please without any noise. And I'm just going to start to trace. So I'm going to begin tracing on mine. And I will be making a part 2 video next week with my class on how to color these in using markers and showing different effects. So every single line that you made, I'm going to have you trace. And I know that's a lot. Please remember to take your Sharpie without noise. Moving right along, you're all in a good spot. I'm still not going to, actually yes, I am going to color the black parts in black. So this is black, I will color that in black now. His little cheek, we're going to be making that a color next week, so don't go coloring that in. When we're done doing our Sharpie lines, I will have you guys use a pink eraser and erase all of your pencil lines that you can still see. Make sense? Good, I'm glad. So I'm just taking my time. I'm making sure I get every single Sharpie line. The most common thing I see 4th graders do is think they're finished before they really are. So I'm counting on you guys to really know when you've gotten all of your pencil lines, and it could be that you don't finish today. It could be that you're finishing doing your Sharpieing next week, and that's totally fine. You're still in time. You're still doing great. In art, the slowest person wins the race, not the fastest. Thinking I've seen the boats that have like this thing, so I'm just doing that. Maybe there's smoke coming off the top. Have you added some kind of funny detail that's different? At the end of class, I'll look around. I can't wait to see the funny details you've all done, and maybe I'll even feature some in my video. So do your best. Okay. I need so many lines on my seagull. This is very ambitious of me.
Do you want to see mine?
Not just yet, but I will invite you at the end of class.
Okay.
At the end of class, what I'll do is I'm going to walk around and check out what all of my fourth graders are doing, and I think I'll feature maybe 3 or 4 in my video. Here's my horizon line, might be one of the most important things in my whole picture. Now before you trace, you might want to think about edits that you want to do, because once you trace, it's very final. You can also add, so like, let's say I want to add more barnacles or something like that. I can do that. Why not? Now don't worry about the speed that I'm working at. It's always going to be faster than you guys, and that's okay. It's because I want to be a step ahead of you. It's on purpose. It's so that you know where you're going. But I don't want you guys to try to keep up with how fast I'm moving with this. I want you to actually take the whole time of class and work on your drawing. I would prefer if you were the slowest person in here. There's probably a few details that you can still add. In a moment, I am going to walk around. I don't expect my fourth graders to have all their marker done yet. It could be that they haven't even started the marker. They're still working at a good pace. Wherever they are, they are. These classes are a little bit like popcorn. Everyone pops at their own time, but everyone does eventually pop. So don't worry, don't try to keep up with me, don't try to keep up with your friends. I'm going to walk around in just a moment and choose a few students to feature in my video. So I'm all done tracing mine. I'm about to go check in. Actually, I'm going to just add a few things. So again, you can just add things directly with your marker. Whatever you think will make your picture look very interesting. So I'm pretty happy with mine. I'm gonna look around. I'm looking for someone who thinks they did something pretty interesting, different. I'm looking around. Alright, I found someone I'm going to add to my video. So one of my fourth graders, his name is Mason, is doing some very interesting things. So if you look, he added some extra things. This looks like one of those rings for saving your life. You know, a lifeguard would throw it out. Here's a sign. So he put a sign in his picture. So those are all fun things to add. And my fourth graders know that they can still add things, even if they didn't originally put it. Good job, Mason. Looking around for maybe one or two other pictures that have something different. Something interesting. That's really fun. Alright. I am going to show my student Matthew. And I'm showing him because he did something a little different also. He has the Titanic here about to hit an iceberg. So he put something different in his picture. That's really fun. And let me think, let's see if I can maybe feature one more person. I actually want to feature this person. I'm going to feature Genevieve's picture just because I like how she made her boat. I just really like how tall she made it. Okay, I really love her no fishing sign. That's really funny. So guys, this is meant to be a funny picture. So you can feel free to add your sense of humor to it. And at that point, I'm going to sign off on our video. So on the count of 3, I'm going to have my class say goodbye. 1, 2, 3. Goodbye.